Have you been arrested or are potentially facing criminal charges? You need a trial attorney who is well-versed in the courtroom. Joe Flores has handled hundreds of criminal cases and many of them to trial. Joe Flores can provide you with competent representation to protect your constitutional rights in state and federal court. Joe Flores can help if you have been arrested or facing criminal charges. The law offices of Joe Flores. Equal justice for all.
And we're back after a brief break. You're listening to Joe Flores, attorney at law, here on South Texas Crossfire, right in between ABC and NBC on Time Warner Channel 6. And let's not forget thanking the Lopez family each and every time. Without them, this is not possible. And our greatest sponsor, God. Without him, nothing is possible. And this program would not be possible, educating and reaching out to the voters. And also, let's not forget our sponsors, River City Hospice, helping people. A lot of people think that hospice is a death sentence or getting ready to pass away. It's not. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been an RN for 23 years, a nurse practitioner for 14 of those, and a trial attorney for 10. And I can tell you that it's the quality of life that matters. And let me tell you, these wonderful programs and these wonderful people are helping River City Hospice and also Vasquez Flores Home Health, getting providers out there to the community, having people help people with their activities of daily living, and keeping seniors independent and people with disabilities and special needs. With all that being said, I welcome back Priscilla Leal, your Councilwoman, District 3. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, we're talking about your humble beginnings, and you're still humble. Power, you know, it's a powerful position you hold. But, you know, let's jump in feet first. You have been accused by your opponent of going against the grain.
Yes.
Of sometimes standing out by yourself on issues.
Right.
But isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Exactly, and I will tell you this. I voted against to raising your taxes and your utilities for the past 4 years. Now, on the tax side, you know, I was right. Because, you know, we were overcharged over $400,000 from the appraisal district, and they had to pay the city back for that money. So I was right in voting for that, and I voted by myself against raising your taxes. The same thing with the utilities. One question that I posed came out that we had not collected over $12 million of utilities itself. I'm a utilities retiree from the city, so I knew that the figures that were being given to me were not incorrect. So I did vote against it by myself again, and again I was right. We uncollected over $12 million. You know, you entrust us to run this business of City Hall for you, because this is your business. And we need to make sure that we are collecting all that money.
Well, and you know, politics aside, I mean, it takes strength and conviction, because in politics, sometimes playing ball is what's expected of you. Come on, roll with us on this vote. We'll help you on this issue.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of that politics in play that people don't see behind the scenes.
Right.
But, you know, I think it's admirable you're maintaining your integrity on that. But tell us about some issues you are working with the city council with and that are very beneficial to our youth, to our community. What's going on?
Well, you know, I support many of the issues. And, you know, I don't vote against the other council members all the time. There are many issues that I have supported the other council members, but there are some that, you know, when I see and that I know that they are incorrect, I'm going to vote by myself.
Such as what are we looking at on the community issues or exciting things that are to come this summer and beyond, and what do you see that's happening that's positive for Corpus Christi?
Well, right now, you know, we have the issue of having the Slater bomb coming up. You know, I think this is something that is very important and needed here in Corpus, you know, to keep the monies here and keep our children out of trouble, I'm going to say. Instead of having the parents having to spend so much money to go out of town on hotel and things of that nature, they can just go down here to Padre Island.
Well, they're going to gut it, and we've been waiting for that forever. I mean, see, a lot of people are critical of the city, and I hear it from me. You know, they email me, Joe, ask her this. Joe, ask the city councilman Mares this, and say, why is the perception out there that a lot of projects get gutted and business is not welcome in Corpus Christi? Is that not true?
Well, you know, just the other day we had a $22 million project and it went wayside. But I supported it, but, you know, you have to have 5 votes. You know, 5 people to join you to see the same way that you envision this. But if we're saying we need for businesses to come here and then we say no, that's not right.
Well, we need people to go down to the city council meetings, and where are they held? So we can have people that say, you know what, we need things like this for our children, Schlitterbahn and other things. Where do they go, and what
At City
meetings?
Hall, we start at 12 noon. And well, this coming Tuesday we should be starting at 8, but that's we're having a budget meeting, and then but afterwards the meetings start at 12, and we have public comment at 4 o'clock.
So every Tuesday, people can come by and give a public comment, generally speaking.
Yes, every Tuesday except the first Tuesday of each month.
And that is at City Hall. And also, if people want to get a hold of you to let them know, the people in your district, it's 537?
1746.
Okay, and the last couple of minutes we've got left in our interview, and it's just flown by, but I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about politics and the campaign.
Okay.
How has your campaign been going? I know that your mother is very ill.
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot going on, but tell us a little bit about the campaign and your supporters.
Well, you know, I'm having to go during the day, you know, to block walk actually, to go to the voters. And actually right now what I'm doing is I'm calling the people that I have helped throughout the year. I have their phone numbers and I'm asking them to go vote for me. And at night, you know, I'm spending the nights with my mother at the hospital. So taking care of my mama at night, and during the day I'm campaigning.
And tell me about some of your supporters. Your daughter, what's her name?
My daughter's name is Dina Chavez, and she has a big sign in front of Carroll High School. And yeah, and well, I have my sons too, you know, that are supporting me. And my grandson, my grandson is 13 years old. Although he doesn't live, he lives in Flower Bluff, but he has other grandparents that live in my district, and they're voters. And he says, Grandma, I'm going to help you to, you know, block, because he does spend quite a bit of time and knows quite a few of the children where the other grandparents are, and he's met them. So he's out there campaigning for me and helping, trying to bring out the vote too.
Well, you know, I had on John Mattis from District 2, and I was interviewing him. I remember he said he came in second when he first ran, and he was so young. And then when he got on the council at 30 or so, you know, what do you encourage these young people in high school, and when you go speak to the schools, you tell them to get involved, even though politics is a full contact sport here in South Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to pack a lunch, but
Actually, I do, because I do tell the children that or young adults that their vision of what is needed here in Corpus is very important. Because their vision has changed. You know, technology and everything else has changed so much that I think they have great ideas, you know, for the city to move forward. And I think it's important that we have that.
well, you know, we've got about a minute left, but you know, you're seeking the re-election as Councilwoman Priscilla Leal, District 3.
Yes.
And that encompasses the west side and some of the south side. And you grew up in this area. You know, a lot of the voters are going to say, well, you know, a lot of people that try to take you down from there say, well, it's time for a change. We need a change. Well, sometimes change can be good or bad. But if you were to tell them in the last minute we have, why should they give you their vote yet again and trust in you yet again for a third term?
Well, one of the things that I have brought, you know, to my district is that I found that, you know, in my district, only $5 million worth of bond money has ever come to fix. I have brought in over $125 million. It's $120 million. It's the biggest amount that has ever come to District 3. It hasn't been easy, but I have fought for that money to come to my district, and the people tell me that they can see the difference in what's been done throughout their neighborhoods.
Well, in the west side, let me tell you, I don't want the people on the west side to ever feel neglected, and they sometimes do. They say, you know, everything is for the south side. Everything is across, you know, across town. It shouldn't be that way. We've got some wonderful resources. We've got wonderful business people there, and what do you say to the business people that keep on trucking there on the west side?
Well, I keep telling them to keep on coming. You know, quite a few businesses have come to my district too. And that's not including the 25 million, but you know, we have the new Budweiser warehouse that's moved into my district, the True Medical Imaging, you know, which I want to thank Mr. De La Garza for that. he has this kiosk, and he has my name on there, so which
Very
is very
nice,
nice.
very
Yeah,
nice.
very nice. Cheddar's came in. The new Corral, the Golden Corral.
Really, Cheddar's is on in your district also on the west side.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Well, it's over there on Airline.
Yeah,
on the south side. But they they have open business in my district, which is good because a lot of businesses have come. Steinmart has also opened in my district, but there's been quite a few businesses that have opened in my district. I'd like to see for some of the infill, coming in, but we're getting there. We're working.
Well, and let me tell you, it's been a pleasure having you on. Priscilla Leal, your councilwoman, District 3, and seeking your vote for a third term. And I'm just going to tell everybody out there, get out and vote. Support the candidate of your choice. Right now, early voting is going on, and we're going to play this until Election Day, right here on KTMB Channel 6, Time Warner, between ABC and NBC with the Lopez family. And this is Joe Flores signing off. Thank you, and God bless.
Have you been arrested or are potentially facing criminal charges? You need a trial attorney who is well-versed in the courtroom. Joe Flores has handled hundreds of criminal cases and many of them to trial. Joe Flores can provide you with competent representation to protect your constitutional rights in state and federal court. Joe Flores can help if you have been arrested or facing criminal charges. The law offices of Joe Flores, equal justice for all.